Hello and welcome back to the Avoid the Tyre podcast. Today we are going to be having a season review as we are halfway through the summer break and I miss F1 very badly.
Literally. I've been isolating for like the past 2 weeks and I've been like, oh yes, I can watch the race on Sunday. No, I can't.
I'm like, with Formula E, I'm like, oh yes, I'm going to watch it. I can't.
What do you think like your favourite races have been like this year, like so far?
Baku, because I like Baku, because it's pretty.
Yeah.
I like it for other reasons, aside from the fact it's pretty. Monaco. 2 street circuits.
I feel like Monaco was like boring but interesting at the same time because like Lewis was stuck behind Pierre for quite a lot of the race, for like all of the race, and then like the whole like Charles disaster at the start with this like pole and stuff. So yeah, but it was also like Monaco, so it was like a bit boring.
I find with Monaco that like the qualifying is always loads more interesting than the race.
Yeah,
because that's when obviously they're pushing it like to the max and everything, and that's when the accidents tend to happen. So
yeah,
it just makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
but,
true.
Yeah, the race just feels like they are just going around in circles on that race.
It's because they like can't overtake or anything. It's just like okay.
No, that's it.
I've got about 100 photos of the podium. Who do you think's improved the most this season?
I think Lando is 100% showing his potential.
Yeah.
Like, I think the past few seasons as well, and it didn't help that like Carlos is such a good driver.
Yeah.
That Lando was sort of pushed back a little bit, and everyone thought like this season that Danny Rick was going to come into McLaren, and he was going to push Lando back again, and it was going to be like hell for Lando sort of thing. Whereas it's actually been the other way.
Yeah, I think Yuki has improved quite a bit from the start of the season. I think he had a really good run in like the first race of the season. You know, he came like P8 or P9, and on like his first race, that's really good. But then I feel like he started to struggle a bit more with the car, but he's kind of brought it back now. You know, I can't remember what he qualified in Hungary. Let me just have a quick look. He qualified P6. You know, I'm assuming that's with Vettel's disqualification, but considering, you know, he was like spinning like 2 or 3 races before that, you know, he's come quite a long way, I think, considering he's a rookie and Pierre is, you know, like not a rookie and he's like 1 position behind Pierre. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think with him as well, it's sort of throughout the season, I think he's got a little bit calmer with his responses. Like, he's still quite a hothead and he still will snap.
Yeah.
But not as much as he did at the beginning. At the beginning, it was like, oh my God, this is going to be a season of hell. Just every time something goes wrong, he's going to be having a go at his like team and everything. But he seems to have calmed down a lot now.
Yeah. I think he has calmed down. I feel like he's got into his like pace a bit more kind of thing. So he's kind of like, he's in the rhythm. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
To be honest, he was a bit scary when the season started, and now he's like
so funny
because
he's so small yet so scary.
He's like literally the same age as me, and it's like, what am I doing with my life?
He's 21, and
is it?
Yeah, he was born in 2000.
Mazepin's improved because he's not spinning as much.
I think, to be honest, he is spinning a lot less.
Yeah.
And he does seem to have got some sort of confidence slightly in the car. Everyone's saying that the Haas this year is probably the hardest car on the grid to drive anyway. So 2 rookies in there, it's kind of a bit like, well, kind of setting you up to fail. Surprise us, and in 5 years' time, be one of the best drivers on the grid.
I think Sebastian Vettel's done quite well. Like, the podium. I still think he got the podium in.
He seems so much happier with Aston Martin now. Like with Ferrari, the minute Charles came along, it was like, okay, that'll your yesterday's news sort of thing.
Mm.
Whereas now Aston Martin, they wanted him and they took him on knowing that Stroll was still going to be there. And I think that for him, he's doing so well. He's showing that he did deserve them for like championships that he's got. So yeah, I think because he's happier, he's doing better. What do you think is going to happen with the second Merc seat? Who do you reckon is going to get it?
Well, I was all for George, to be honest.
Imagine they just like give it to someone else. Like
that Jacques Villeneuve, I know who he is, I think. But he was like, oh yes, I think Stroll's gonna get it. And I was like, whoa, curveball in, mate.
I don't think that would happen.
No, I just feel like I don't know whether, because if he left Aston Martin, would his dad still fund the team, is my question. Do you know what I mean? Because, like, Mazepin's dad's not going to sponsor Haas if Mazepin leaves. So, like, Haas are going to try and keep him for as long as possible. It's the same with Williams. Like, Latifi's dad's not going to keep sponsoring them for that. I saw something actually about that. Like, Latifi's dad wasn't going to keep giving money to Williams anymore because they didn't need it. So he was no longer. Williams no longer need a pay driver, but I think they were still going to keep Latifi on or something. Hold on, let me Google this before I say it.
Yeah.
Williams pay.
Latifi did very well in the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't even know what that Grand Prix was. It was
honestly, I had so many emotions in one race.
When Lando got took out, no, I was like, I was crying.
Gutted. But then it was also like, because I am a Mercedes fan, but I'm also a McLaren fan. So when Bottas went out, I was gutted. When Lando went out, I was gutted. But then it was also like, okay, you did kind of take out both Red Bulls, so this could work in Lewis's favour.
Yeah.
But then it's also like, Bottas literally looks so. He went round straight away and was like saying sorry to everyone and everything. And Lando, Lando was so angry, and like I completely understand why.
Yeah.
But I just felt more.
When
Yeah.
he gave that interview, and then he was like, "It's Bottas's fault," and then Bottas was like, "Hey!" That was so funny. Honestly.
But it was Horner's comment, like, because Toto apologised and said it was completely Mercedes' fault. Then he went over to Horner and was like, said something. Obviously, no one really heard what was said. And then when Horner came up and was like being interviewed and things, there was like, "Do you accept his apology?" And he was like straight away, "Well, is he going to pay the bill?" Like, I just think he's so petty.
I've not liked Christian Horner since like day one. I just get bad vibes off him. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but I wouldn't like to be told off by Christian Horner.
No,
because I feel like he would just insult me.
But that's it. He doesn't drop things. So like he just goes on and on and on, and it's like, right, okay, we heard you the first time and the 100th time. We don't need to hear it anymore.
Literally.
When I was watching TikTok the other day, someone was like, I didn't know Horner and Mrs. Horner, Jerry Halliwell, were married. I didn't even know they were together.
Like, I always thought like the F1 like fandom and everything was like quite an alright place to be.
Yeah.
But like recently, it's F1 has turned like so toxic in a sense. Like the minute anything happens, it's like, oh my god, like we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to get them back, and it's just turned it into a money game rather than something to actually enjoy watching.
Yeah. After that Grill the Grid episode that literally like the last one that came out, everyone was like having a go at Lando because he was like, oh, Seb should focus on winning world championship, like winning races.
Like, it wasn't funny. Well, it was a bit funny, But it
Yeah.
wasn't like absolutely wet yourself funny.
Yeah. But it wasn't like mean either.
Yeah,
Do you know
why
what I mean?
did people get so like, oh my god, Lando, about it? That's a great impression.
Yeah. Like cancel. I was like, guys, just like shut up. He doesn't like. He's not being a dick. Like,
I think the thing is, and obviously, like, tell me if you think I'm completely wrong, but like this snowflake generation,
yeah,
I think that is starting to show more now with like people. The minute anyone tries to make a joke, someone's got to take it serious, and then it's like it's cancel culture, and they just want them cancelled.
Yeah.
They want. It's like with was it Eminem they were trying to get cancelled? I'm like,
Probably.
he was around before half of these lot were born.
Literally.
Like, just leave him alone, sort of thing. And it's starting to.
You can't say what you actually think. You have to say what society wants you to think. So, like, if I said, I don't know, oh my god, so and so did this, and they used this offensive word, then I would probably end up being cancelled because that person's fans would be like, oh my god, I can't believe you said that, oh my god.
Even within Formula One, then obviously, like, you do get, like, I am a Lewis fan. I've been a Lewis fan since I first started watching Formula One. So that was like, I kind of remember the 2008 season.
Yeah.
So it was like right at the beginning of Lewis Hamilton coming through, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I just feel like when you say that you're a Lewis fan, it's the backlash that people get, or even if like Lewis and Max fans at the minute just going at each other, and like I don't care if someone's a Max fan, if someone's a Mazepin fan, I really don't care, because at the end of the day, you're all supporting the drivers and the teams you want to support. It's racing. That's what's going to happen. There's different teams, there's different drivers, and everyone's going to have their different opinions.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fact that everyone has to argue over people's opinions, because their opinions are not facts.
Yeah. I get like having a discussion about them, but like arguing like, no, you can't be a Lewis fan because he's a bad driver, he's a terrible person who kicked Max out, like, he punched a dog. Like, I don't think that's true. I don't think he's ever punched a dog. But like, do you know what I mean? Like, if I was like, I personally wouldn't be a Lewis fan because I think, what he's done to Max this season has been very rude. That's having a conversation. Whereas like being like, you can't be one. How can you be like? That's just being mean, I guess.
See, that's it. Because like, I think pretty much the whole way through sort of Max coming into it and everything, I've never been a fan of Max, purely for how he was like at the beginning when he'd just scream at anyone, he'd have a go at anyone. He was dangerous, and he'd just wipe out. He would put his car where he knew it wouldn't fit, hoping that the other driver would back out and things like that. And some of the stuff he did was pretty dangerous, but a lot of drivers have done stuff like that as well. And like being at Silverstone when that crash happened was it was really surreal in the crowd, because I know everyone's been like, everyone was cheering when Max went off. We cheered until we realised that he'd hit the wall at such speed. Because all we saw was him spinning this dust cloud come up and then Lewis go off, and we was like, because everyone thought that Lewis had gone off as well, because well, in the bit that I was at anyway, because I was at the first corner, so all we had was the TV screen opposite us. So everyone thought Max and Lewis had gone off. So then everyone cheered when it panned to Lewis and he was still carrying on, and then when it actually showed the crash, it was like, oh my god, and everyone just went silent. And like waited, and they like kept it pretty much on the screen most of the time, waiting for Max to get out of the car and everything. But
I think
obviously a lot of
that in the videos of like everyone goes like, what, like that kind of thing. Or at least that's what I've like been watching.
That's it. And it's the videos that cut off, like, because everyone was cheering obviously as they're coming round the corner, and it's Max v Lewis, and they could see Lewis coming up the inside, and it was looking absolutely brilliant. So everyone was still cheering, because the atmosphere anytime Lando George or Lewis came round a corner was insane. Because obviously it's the British. We was all dead proud. And then, if they had kept them videos rolling a little bit more, you'd hear people go, "Oh my God," and everyone would just go silent. And it was just that sort of the kickoffs that people had about that.
Yeah.
Without seeing the full thing was a bit like, "All right, okay, here we go again."
To be honest, I thought Charles deserved the win at Silverstone. Because he's done so amazing to lead, like, what was it?
Literally, like, all of the Grand Prix, he, like, led. And then Lewis just came in. I was like, oh my God.
Like, I've got to say, being there and Lewis, like, catching him was amazing. Yeah. But it would have also been, I don't know, because obviously they did the penalty and everything, and that everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's it, like, that's over."
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see if there could have been a bit more of a fight with that. Oh, because it was sort of like Leclerc went wide and then Lewis got through. It weren't like a scrap at the front for pole, like, for first. Sort of, all right, okay, gone wide, you've gone through, okay, sorted.
Yeah, I feel like it is kind of like a testament to how good Lewis is. You know, he suffered that 10-second penalty and he still managed to win.
Yeah.
You know, so as much as, like, you hate to say it, you know, he did kind of deserve it, you know. Whether he won it fairly or not, you know, who's to say? That's
it. And it's like at the Hungary one as well.
Yeah.
That was brilliant to see, in a sense, because it is such a hard track to overtake on, and to go from last to third, well, technically second now, but third. That is something to be proud of.
Yeah. Like as much as you want, like, a battle at the front, you know, a Max v Lewis, you just, like, Lewis is an amazing driver and so is Max, and, like, they've both proven themselves, so it is really a coin toss up as to who will win at the end of the season.
So on the subject of, like, cancel culture, I know we, like, said about, like, 10 minutes ago, but the female F1 fans, they get so much hate.
Literally.
Like, oh, you can't like F1 because you only like drivers.
You only like him in the drivers.
Yeah, you only like him in the drivers.
And it's like they wear a helmet in the car. I can't see anything.
You can't see
literally.
Like, I find the cars better looking than half the drivers.
I feel like if you're going to say girls only like watching F1 for the drivers, like, you're just a bit of a like, what do the guys watch F1 for then? Like,
they watch it for Charlotte, honestly.
They watch it for Charlotte, honestly. I feel like I watch F1 for, like, the culture, you know, like the, oh my God, did you see the race? Oh my God, did you see this? Like, I can't believe this happened. Like, do you know, like, the conversation rather than, like, oh my God, Pierre's so hot. Like,
but, like,
I've been into, like, cars and sort of the mechanical side of things and everything. So, like, for me, when I watch F1 and things, obviously I love the racing.
Yeah.
I love the culture behind it, like you said, of, like, oh my God, did you see the race and all that? But I also like the thought process of, like, how do they get that car to be that light and do that job?
Literally.
Like, and that side of things,
like, an amazing piece of engineering.
Yeah.
And it's, like, crazy, like, what they can do with, and, like, I saw this video, I think it's from last year actually, and it's like they fix Max's, like, car in, like, 20 minutes to get it, like, on the grid. Let me see if I can find it. It's, like, incredible.
Was that Hungary that did that?
I think it was, actually.
He crashed on the outlap.
The
outlap to the grid before they started, like, setting everything up. And they told him not to come into the pits, just go straight to the grid and see what they could do.
It was in
like,
Hungary last year.
In seconds
and then he won the race, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was I watched that the other day. I was like, this is incredible how they've like literally fixed like I think it was like the 2-wheel thingies in like 15 minutes.
It was
like, it's
insane.
I was like watching it. I was like, I know he goes and wins this, but like I'm like scared.
Can't tell.
Like, I've got to skip to the end to see what happens. It's too tense. Found a picky.
Oh my god. Oops. Danny Kvyat deserves justice.
Literally. I saw a TikTok, it literally made me tear up. I was in my feels the other night and it was like list of men that deserve better, and it was Pierre, Danny, Alex, Albon, Seb and Danny Rick, and they were all in like their little Red Bull uniforms, and I was like
oh, Danny Rick. What's happening, mate?
I do think that Alex Albon does deserve an F1 seat.
Yeah.
I just think putting him into the Red Bull seat was too soon.
Yeah. I feel like they would have swapped him out midway through last year had they not already done that with Pierre the year before.
Yeah.
And they were like backing Alex. I feel like they wouldn't like. I feel like because of how it looked, they didn't do it. Whereas I feel like they should have, purely like if they wanted like results, and like it would have been better for Alex if they swapped him out halfway through last season, because he wasn't doing great.
I feel like as well they seem to have left it right to the last minute to decide what they were doing with him, like whether they were keeping him or not. And I just don't think that was fair for him, because all the other seats were already taken.
Yeah.
So he had no other option other than to just leave Formula One.
Yeah. And be like,
they could have
and it's not fair. Yeah.
They should have got Danny in halfway through last year. Imagine Danny and Max as teammates.
Oh my god. That'd just be a little bit awkward.
Because Max took Danny's seat in like, when was it, like 2016, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a shock. Yeah. Going through drivers like pieces of paper.
Honestly.
It's just like, come on.
I think Checo's going to re-sign for next year. Red Bull.
Yeah. I think he's done quite well. I feel like out of, Albon, Gasly and Checo's done the best.
Yeah.
But I feel like Red Bull also might have, tailored the car a bit more to him, because I feel like the last 2 years they've definitely tailored it towards Max. And I feel like they kind of learned from their mistake.
I think as well, like, look how good Seb did, look how good Danny Rick did. But then they brought Gasly in quite young, they brought Kvyat in quite young, they brought Albon in quite young. And was it too much pressure too soon? Because Mercedes don't tend to bring rookies into their seats purely for the fact that they know that pressure is a lot, and for
Max was quite young as well, though, so it's like
that's it. And it, like some people do better under that pressure and things, but I think obviously Albon had a lot of pressure on him being swapped midway through a season, and he knew he knew that could happen again.
Yeah, I feel like Max is just built different.
Max built different. I like that.
But I feel like, because Max is such a good driver, having brought Albon and Gasly up, they're quite young, how, I think Pierre is older than Max a couple of years, but like he was still in his like rookie like seasons and stuff. Yeah. So like to bring him up against this absolute mega driver, it just like wasn't a good. I feel like that probably it like knocked Pierre's confidence quite a lot,
Yeah. I think
it just wasn't good.
I don't know. It might be different, obviously, on the inside, but from the outside, it seems that they are very much kissing up to Max, even through like when he was first in Red Bull. Like he used to crash that car, he used to spin it, he used to the amount of fights that he got into and
Yeah.
arguments and the way he spoke to the press.
Yeah.
And it was just, why, if that was, say, Albon or Gasly or anyone like that, would they have kept them? Because the minute they started doing that, they were out the door.
Literally.
So
what annoys me even more was, like, I think Pierre didn't even do, like, that badly. He wasn't as bad as people think he is. Because, you know, when you say, like, oh, Pierre Gasly Red Bull, you think he was qualifying, like, 15th, 16th. He was, like, 7th, or, like, he was 6th or 7th. And it's like, that isn't... Oh, it just makes me mad.
They were so fixated on beating Mercedes that they didn't care who they hurt or whose career they damaged or anything. They just wanted to beat Mercedes. And I think, they are putting a fight this season, and it is going to be interesting all the way to the end, I think. Like, Lewis seems to be finding his feet a bit more with the car now.
Yeah.
But Red Bull one of the only teams that, because sort of like McLaren saying they're bringing some upgrades, Mercedes said they're going to bring some, but it's not going to be new parts as such, it's going to be tweaks. Whereas Red Bull are still very much focusing on this year's car.
Yeah.
But could that potentially hinder them for next year? Because everyone else is focusing a hell of a lot on next year's car. Are they putting too much effort into this year's championship and not for the next? Because they've already said if they don't have the car for 2022, they're pretty much screwed for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
So is it going to hinder them in this new era, or it'll be interesting to see.
Or are they just saying, you know, oh, we don't have anything, you know, kind of throw them off, you know, like Mercedes and preseason testing this year. Like, oh, car's so bad. Come in the first race. Hey, guys.
Well, that's it. But, like, that first race was just, I was literally sat on the edge of my seat the whole way through, like, is he going to win it? Is he not? Oh, my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. It will be interesting to see, but I think it's going to be, like, a few championships that we've had where there's been 1 point in it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's going to be.
Didn't Seb win his last one and literally he, like, won it by, like, a race? In, like, 2014.
I think
he literally was only winning it on the last race of the season in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. I think the past few seasons with Lewis winning it, he's literally won it with, like, 3 or 4 races to go.
Yeah.
And as brilliant as that is for him, it's kind of like them last 3 or 4 races. Like, Lewis is lucky when, like, in a sense, he's lucky when he got COVID because he already had the title.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter too much. But if he had got that, like, the week before or something,
it would have spiced things up a bit.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
It would have been a little bit different.
It would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think it's so crazy, like, how it's literally, like, one race could, like, make or break a season or, like, a career pretty much, like, essentially.
That's it. Like,
oh my God, I was just looking at the Bahrain results because I couldn't remember. I don't even think Pierre finished in that, but it, like, said, like, oh, show more drivers, but it showed Nikita Mazepin, like, below Lando, so I was like, what? But then I just, like, did the show more drivers and it went, like, to proper.
Yeah.
I like it when the race goes down to, like, the championship, goes down to the last race because it's spicy. Like, 1976, Hunt versus Lauda, and Hunt eventually won the title. I'm just going off the film Rush here because it's a great film. Go watch it. But, like, Hunt got the title because Lauda pulled out.
Yeah.
Japan, I think it was. So, I want it to be, like, more like that rather than, oh, I've won the title with 7 races left.
Yeah.
That's it. I think with that as well, like, it's shown the past few races, you never know what's going to happen, whether they want to go play bowling or whether a tyre wants to blow.
Yeah.
Or whether,
crazy.
Like, because I was sat thinking about the season the other day, and to me, the Bottas Russell crash seems like last season, season
Ages
4.
ago,
It seems
yeah.
like it's ages ago,
That
but it was
like,
actually this season.
Yeah, that was like in like the second race, wasn't it? I think.
Something
that was on my
like
birthday, because I remember watching it on my birthday. Yeah, it was the second race. It was on my birthday, and I remember watching it, and my dad was like, "That was George Russell's fault," and then like I was like, "No, it was Bottas's fault," and then like I was on Twitter like, because did they red flag it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like on Twitter during the red flag, and he was like, "Okay, what's everyone else saying? Like, what's everyone else?" Because Latifi retired as well, so everyone's like, "Paul Williams."
Yeah,
it was a crazy day.
I find like because it is so unpredictable this season, that final race, if it does come down to that last race, you could they win it by 1 point, but I don't know, Lewis is in 9th and Max is in 10th.
Yeah.
Like that's sort of the level of unpredictableness.
Yeah, literally. George Russell comes home to win it. That would be iconic.
Oh my god.
Him and Nicholas Latifi win the champion. Oh. How iconic.
Mick Schumacher could still win the title. So, you know, Mick, if you want to,
do that. In his little house.
His driving last week, was it last week or the week before? I've lost track of weeks now. We need to get this summer break race. The last race. Mick's driving in that, like keeping Max behind him, and I know Max had a lot of damage, but even then the defense that he was putting up was brilliant.
I feel like
it really did show it.
He was like, it gave him a chance to show that he is a good driver. He's not just there because his like last name. He is a good driver, kind of thing. And something else I saw like online. I can't remember it now.
Loads of people say that Mick's just there because of his father's name. Like, no, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like
I saw this tweet. It was like Mazepin's there because of Daddy's cash, whereas Mick's there because of Daddy's talent or something. I was like, oh.
See, that's the bit that annoys me. But if you watch, like, if you look at Mick's track record, then he takes a season to get into it, and then he does well on the second bit.
Yeah.
On the second season. So like I think it was F2. He didn't do well until his second season in that.
Yeah.
And like obviously he's got to get used to the car and things, but
it's a Haas.
Well, yeah, that's it. And he's probably under the most pressure on that group.
Yeah.
Because he's got all of his dad's success then on his shoulders, because everyone knows his name, everyone remembers his dad, and they expect him to be his dad.
Be him, yeah.
Seriously, people need to keep out of Lando's business.
Honestly, it does my head in.
It's slightly creepy.
It bugs me, like, how much people want to be in people's business. Like, just leave him alone, sort of thing. Like, his brother's in, is it Croatia?
I think
with Max and that. But in all the photos, Lando's not been in them.
Yeah. And
I think that's probably more to do with Lando, because he doesn't use his social media properly anymore, does he? Because of he don't like all the hassle he gets. But I feel bad for anyone who gets with Lando just because of the hate that they're gonna get.
I feel like because he has I think the best way to describe it, he's like the Harry Styles of Formula One. Like, he has like the teenage girls that are like obsessed with him. And so like obviously any girl or boy that like gets with him is gonna have like all these like young fans being like, rah, you know.
Like it wouldn't surprise me if Lando gets with someone and doesn't make it public for like 6 months to a year
until like they're married.
Yeah, like it'll be, oh my god, Lando Norris is engaged. It's like, when the girlfriend.
Yeah. I feel like people will like know. Like, they'll have like an idea.
Yeah.
But like they won't. Like he'll never like confirm it type thing.
Well, look at the hate Kelly Piquet's gotten. But it's horrific how much she gets hated on. Like,
people like despise her, and it's like,
scary.
girl, come on.
The thing is, everyone she gets a lot of hate because obviously she was with one of the drivers and now she's with another one, and it's that sort of thing. But everyone has an ex, and everyone's ex is going to get with someone else. It just so happens to be that in the environment that she is in a lot, she has met someone else.
She works in F1.
Yeah.
So it's like
her dad is really big in F1. It's not going to be like, oh, she's just out to get with drivers. She's in that environment 24/7, and if she clicks with one of them, let her be.
It's like, because she works in F1, she's like a TV presenter, isn't she, for like one of the European channels. So it's like her getting with another colleague type thing. Do you know what I mean? Like if you worked in a company and you went out with someone from HR and then you broke up, and then you went out with someone from the same floor as you, it'd be like that. Like no one would be like, oh my god, it's so scandalous.
That's it. I don't understand the amount of hate that she gets, or that any of them get, to be honest. It just all seems pointless.
Literally. Like, they're not gonna date you. As much as we hate to say it, girlies.
No. That's it as well. And what worries me is obviously there's a lot obviously going on in the world at the minute about like gays and things like that. But what really worries me is because a lot of the guys then that watch F1 that don't think that girls should watch it, and they only watch it for the drivers.
Yeah.
What would happen if one of the drivers came out gay?
The
amount of hate.
That sounded bad, but like
get,
I mean, like, yeah.
Like
that's what I like. Yeah.
It just pissed me off so much.
But I feel like for that reason, like one of the drivers, should come out and be like, oh, like I'm gay, whatever. But then like I also don't want like them to get like literally hated on. But I feel like they probably would just like suppress their like sexuality and like never publicly go out with someone like because of it. It's like all those like American football players that have been like secretly gay and stuff.
Yeah, that's it. It's just not fair. Like that's it. As well, like obviously Seb the other day, he wore his rainbow top, his rainbow shoes, but he then got called to the whatchamacallit?
Stewards, wasn't it?
That's the one.
The big boys.
My mind went blank. He then got called to the stewards because he didn't take it off, and he was like, "But why should I?"
Yeah, Lewis was allowed to wear his Breonna Taylor shirts and his like BLM shirts and stuff.
He did get called to the stewards for a few of the tops that he wore.
Yeah,
especially when he went up onto the podium in one. That was a big.
Yeah, that was the Breonna Taylor one, I think.
Yeah, and that one he definitely did get pulled to the stewards for because he was told he wasn't allowed.
Yeah,
but yeah, they're going about it the wrong way. They should be supporting their drivers.
Yeah, they're all about we race as one until
yeah.
The new We Race as One sign should be like money rainbow, we race as one, and then like those little star thingies, like footnotes.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna design it tomorrow.
Do it. Send it to them. Tweet them.
Email it like Toto did.
The amount of memes I've seen about that bloody email.
Oh, honestly.
Michael, I've sent you an email.
I don't.
If you just open it now. Yeah.
Also, before we end this, I thought that Zach Brown was the team principal of McLaren. He's not.
He's like the CEO, isn't he?
I thought he was team principal as well. But it's some other geezer.
I absolutely love Zach. I think he's ace. He's just so.
He is. I do like him.
Cool. He's like a cool uncle.
He is.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Avoid the Tyre podcast. We hope you enjoyed it and make sure to leave a comment of your favourite moments of the 2021 Formula One season so far. Thanks. Bye.